Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. We have something really special to share. I love a good story, one that pulls at the heartstrings. Boy, do we have some of those for you. We're talking about one of the most beautiful things, the incredible, unwavering loyalty of dogs. These aren't made-up tales. These are real-life stories of dogs showing devotion that is just, well, it's mind-blowing. So get comfortable. Grab a tissue or two. Seriously, I might need a whole box. Get ready to be moved by the unbreakable bond between humans and their best friends. These stories are a powerful reminder of the pure, unconditional love our furry friends give every day. They ask for so little and give so much in return. It's truly something to see. I can't wait to share these incredible journeys with you. As we go through these, you'll be thinking of your own pets. I want to hear about them. Drop your stories in the comments. Tell me what makes your dog or any pet so special. I love reading those stories. They make my day. All right, are you ready? Let's get into it. Our first story takes us all the way to Tokyo, Japan, and it's a story that has become a legend. It's about an Akita named Hachiko. Now, Hachiko belonged to a professor named Hidesaburo Ueno. Every single morning, Hachiko would walk with his owner to the Shibuya train station to see him off to work. Every single afternoon, like clockwork, Hachiko would return to the station all by himself. He would be there waiting on the platform when his best friend's train pulled in. It was their daily ritual, a beautiful, simple act of love and companionship. This went on for over a year. The perfect routine became familiar. Station workers would smile when they saw him arrive. Local shopkeepers did too. He was a familiar, friendly face, the professor's loyal shadow. His tail wagged as he waited. But one day something changed. One afternoon in 1925, Professor Ueno's train arrived. The doors opened and people poured out. But the professor wasn't among them. He'd suffered a cerebral hemorrhage at work and had passed away, never to return. Hachiko didn't know. He couldn't understand, so he waited. As the sun went down and the platform emptied, he waited. The next day, at the exact same time the train was due, Hachiko showed up again. He came back the next day, and the day after that. He just kept coming back, searching the crowd for that one familiar face. He was taken in by relatives. He constantly escaped to return to his post at the station, holding on to hope. For the next 9 years, 9 months, and 15 days, Hachiko returned to Shibuya Station every single afternoon. He became a permanent fixture, a symbol of love time couldn't erase. People began bringing him food and water. He grew old waiting at that train station, a silent, furry testament to a bond death couldn't break. His story teaches us that love isn't about what you get, it's about what you give. Hachiko gave his whole heart, right up until the very end. Next, we're heading to Argentina for a story that is just as unbelievable and just as touching. This is the story of a German shepherd named Capitan. In 2005, a man named Miguel Guzman brought Capitan home as a gift for his young son, Damien. The two became fast friends, but Capitan formed an incredibly deep bond with Miguel. But just a year later, in 2006, Miguel suddenly passed away. In the chaos and grief that followed, the family noticed Capitan had disappeared from the home. They searched everywhere for him. They thought he might have run away or been taken in by another family. A week later, the Guzman family went to visit Miguel's grave. When they arrived, they couldn't believe their eyes. There, lying on the dirt mound, was Capitan. He was whining softly, as if mourning with them. The family was stunned. They had never taken Capitan to the cemetery before. He had somehow found his way there on his own. The cemetery director said the dog had just shown up one day. He wandered the grounds until he found the right plot, and then he just stayed. No one knows how he found that one specific spot in a large cemetery he'd never been to. The family tried to bring him home. Sometimes he went for a little while, but he always returned to Miguel's grave. For over a decade, Capitan made the cemetery his home. The staff grew to love him, feeding him and caring for him. He wandered the grounds by day like he was on patrol, but every night, without fail, he returned to Miguel's graveside and slept until morning. He stood guard for 11 years, a loyal sentinel proving that for some, till death do us part simply doesn't apply. His loyalty was his life's final beautiful mission. Let's travel back in time now, all the way to 19th century Scotland, for a story that has been passed down through generations. It's the legend of Greyfriars Bobby. Bobby was a tiny Skye Terrier. His owner was a man named John Grey. John Grey worked for the Edinburgh City Police as a night watchman. Through the cold, dark cobblestone streets of the city, John and his little partner Bobby would walk together. They were a familiar sight, this man and his tiny, shaggy companion, keeping each other company through the long nights. Sadly, John Grey contracted tuberculosis and passed away in 1858. He was buried in Greyfriars Kirkyard, a cemetery in the heart of Edinburgh. A deep and profound grief took hold of his loyal dog. A few days after the funeral, the groundskeeper found Bobby lying on his master's fresh grave. He shooed him away. But the next morning, Bobby was back, curled up in the same spot. This happened again and again. The little dog always found his way back. Eventually, the groundskeeper's heart softened. He saw the little dog shivering in the rain. He saw the little dog shivering in the snow. He built him a small shelter by the grave. The local community also took notice of this devoted little terrier. The owner of a nearby coffee house would feed him every day when the 1 o'clock gun fired. Bobby would eat his meal, then immediately trot back to the cemetery. His loyalty was so famous that he became a local celebrity. For 14 years, until his own passing in 1872, Greyfriars Bobby never left his master's side. He became more than just a dog. He became a symbol of Edinburgh, a testament to undying loyalty. The Lord Provost of Edinburgh was so moved that he paid for Bobby's dog license and gave him a collar, which is now in a museum. After he died, a statue and a drinking fountain were erected in his honor. It just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how big you are. Even the smallest dog can have the biggest heart. This next story is one that you may have seen a picture of, a single, powerful image that speaks 1,000 words. It's a more recent story from 2011, about a beautiful chocolate Labrador named Hawkeye. Hawkeye was the devoted companion of a U.S. Navy SEAL named John Tumilson. Where John went, Hawkeye was usually not far behind. They shared that unique, powerful bond: trust, companionship, unconditional love. Tragically, Petty Officer John Tumilson was one of 30 American soldiers killed when their helicopter was shot down in Afghanistan. It was a devastating loss for his family, his community, the nation. His funeral was held in his hometown in Iowa. Hundreds of people came to pay their respects. Friends and family walked past John's flag-draped casket to honor him. And then, one mourner in particular captured the world's attention. It was Hawkeye. Led by a family friend, Hawkeye walked up to John's casket. He didn't just walk by. In a moment of pure, heartbreaking loyalty, Hawkeye lay down in front of the casket. He sighed and stayed, his body pressed to the floor, guarding his best friend one last time. He didn't move for the rest of the service, a silent, sorrowful sentinel keeping his final watch. A photo of that moment, taken by John's cousin, quickly went viral. It showed a side of grief and loyalty the world doesn't often see. A raw, unfiltered display of love. That one image spoke volumes about the depth of Hawkeye's bond with John. It reminded everyone the sacrifices of war are felt by human families and by the four-legged family members left behind. For our final story, we journey to a small village in southern Italy to meet a 12-year-old German shepherd named Tommy. Tommy was a stray. He was adopted by a wonderful woman named Maria Margherita Locci. Maria loved Tommy dearly. He adored her. He followed her everywhere, her faithful shadow. One of her daily routines was attending Mass at the local church. She would always bring Tommy along with her. The priest allowed him to sit quietly at her feet during the service. He never caused any trouble. He was a gentle, patient soul. His presence became a regular, welcome sight. But then, a few months after finding Tommy, Maria passed away. Her funeral was held at that very same church. Tommy was there, joining the mourners to say his final goodbye. After the funeral, something incredible started happening. Every single day, when the church bells rang for Mass, Tommy would show up. He would walk into the church, just as he had done with Maria, and find a spot near the altar. He would lie there patiently through the entire service, his eyes watching the door, as if he was waiting for Maria to walk in and take him home. He was continuing their routine, holding on to hope. The priest and the entire congregation were so touched by his devotion. They adopted him as their own, making sure he was always fed and cared for. He became the church's dog. Every day he attended Mass, a furry, four-legged member of the congregation, waiting for a friend who would never return. Tommy's story is a beautiful example of how our pets become part of our routines, our lives, and our hearts, and how that love endures even when one of them is gone. Wow, just wow. Hachiko, Capitan, Bobby, Hawkeye, Tommy. 5 incredible dogs, 5 unbelievable stories of love and loyalty. It really makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you appreciate that quiet, constant presence in our lives, the one that greets you at the door with a wagging tail, no matter what kind of day you've had. These stories are a powerful reminder of the pure, simple, and profound connection we can have with animals. They don't ask for much, but the love they give back is immeasurable. So, thank you so much for watching and for sharing this emotional journey with me. I hope these stories touched your heart as much as they touched mine. Go give your pets an extra hug tonight. Cherish every moment, every walk, every game of fetch. They are truly some of the greatest gifts we'll ever receive. And don't forget to keep sharing your own pet stories in the comments below. I'm going to be reading them, I promise. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more inspiring stories like these, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We have so much more we want to share with you. And before you go, just remember this. Sometimes the most loyal, most loving, and most faithful friends we will ever have are the ones who walk on 4 legs. Be kind to them. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.